on, guys? This your boy John, the Liquidator, coming back with a very important live, man. Be sure to hype the video, and we gonna do this, man. So it looked like they have got their guy for his defensive coordinator. That is the Cleveland Browns. They have hired somebody to replace Jim Schwartz. Now, we ultimately know how that went down with Jim Schwartz, man. He walked into the office, said, screw everybody, bruh. He got the hell out of Dodge. Well, like I stated, I was wanting to hear news about a defensive coordinator coming out Friday. Well, I'm here to tell you, today is Monday. They waited till the weekend and announced it. So it looked like this here is kind of interesting because this set defensive coordinator is being connected to none other than former Browns coach Kevin Stefanski. Yes, he is basically a former coach of the Atlanta Falcons. It's being reported that right now, breaking news coming out of Cleveland. Now, Twitter is down right now, just to let y'all know. So all of the reporters can't pull up any of their stuff because Twitter has crashed. But it's being reported that Browns hire a former Falcons coach as their replacement to replace Jim Schwartz. It stated the Browns hired Todd Monken to be the new head coach after firing Kevin Stefanski. We ultimately know what led up to Kevin Stefanski being fired. There's a whole lot of stuff going on with Shador. That's old news. We ain't even finna worry about that right now. But we finna get into exactly what happened with Jim Schwartz. He said Schwartz, right, told the Browns he wouldn't be their defensive coordinator after Todd Monken hire. Now, we ultimately know that Jim Schwartz was interviewed. He was being considered as one of the guys to come in and be the potential head coach. Now, it did not take long for the Browns to find a replacement for Schwartz, according to Jeremy Fowler. So Jeremy Fowler of ESPN broke this story on Twitter. Twitter is down. That's why we can't pull it up. But we going to do what we got to do to get the news out. It's being reported that Browns hired new DC and ex-Falcons coach. The Browns are hiring Mike Rutenberg as their defensive coordinator per sources. Now, I just want to see, because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it his son allegedly that called Shador on draft day? I just want to see something real quick. No, it wasn't him. That was Jeff Obrook. I believe, whose son called Shador Sanders. I think it was him. But I thought it was connected somewhere with the Falcons. Oh, no. That's another story, but we going to read this. Rutenberg was the most recent with the Atlanta Falcons, where he was the passing game coordinator on the defensive side of the ball. He landed the Browns job, beating the other finalists in Corton Uden and Jason Tarver. Rutenberg was previously the linebacker coach with the New York Jets from 2021 until 2024, where the Jets defense was solid during his time there. I don't know how people going to feel about him being connected to the Jets, but it is what it is. It is what it is. If they want to go that route, let them go that route. Somebody said, yeah, Jeff Obert. Yeah, because I had to go back and double check. I'm like, hold on, bruh. Hold on. If they really trying to go out here and sabotage Shador. But let's finish reading the article, figure out who this guy is. It says, and this past season, the Falcons defense was a solid unit. They finished the year with 16 interceptions and 27 passing yards, allowed only 3,407 passing yards this past season with the Falcons. Then it goes on to say some more. Somebody else said they all got to prove themselves. They definitely going to have to prove themselves. Okay, the article goes on to say, in this past season, the Falcons defense was solid. We already read that. It said Atlanta also finished second in the NFL with 57 sacks this past. Hold on, they did? So the Atlanta Falcons finished second in the NFL with 57 packs, 4 ahead of the Browns at 53. Whoa, That snuck under the radar. That there it is. Overall, Rutenberg's Falcons defense finished in the top half of the league against the pass last year and was strong unit overall. While he's not likely to get the same production out of the Browns defense, we don't know that. I just hate when reporters do this. We don't know how the players going to feel about him, bro. They might come around. They might show love. They might support this type of hire. Goes on to say, while it's likely they might not get the same production, it's a track record of Jim Schwartz, and he should be someone fans can be excited about. It might not be Schwartz, but he's a solid defensive option. While Kevin Stefanski is joining the Falcons, a top defensive coach for the Falcons, is coming to Cleveland to be the leader of the Browns defense under Todd Monken. He'll be regaining Defensive Player of the Year in Myles Garrett. Now, Mary Kay did say something. So this came out a little bit before the news that they was pursuing him. Kevin Stefanski is far better off coaching the Atlanta Falcons than Cleveland Browns, but Stefanski old team are looking for some payback. Look, this is big payback. Look, for those people who thinking this ain't connected to Kevin Stefanski, you're tripping. It is. They getting some get back, bro. They definitely, because Kevin Stefanski probably was going to keep this dude, bro. Would be my guess. My guess would be he was going to keep this defensive coordinator. But so let's see how this all is connected to K-Fed. Get some payback on Kevin Stefanski. Falcons defense pass game coordinator Mike Rutenberg has been seriously considered for the Browns CC job, with the resolution coming soon. We ultimately know he was ultimately hired about 10, 15 minutes ago. Now, Mary Kay reported that Todd Monken is down to 3 finalists. We don't care about none of that. Now, the Falcons with Mike Rutenberg, the Browns are casting a wide net replacement, which they did. But to me, from the outside looking in, it looked like they definitely got some payback on K-Fed when it comes to this defensive coordinator search. Now, it has yet to be seen. It has yet to be seen if they're going to be successful with this new hire. We just got to wait and see. And there's even more news coming out of Cleveland. See, that's why when it's hires and stuff, when it's hires like this, I think it's better just to do a live, just to kind of track it all. You feel me? So it looked like Cleveland Browns swipe prominent Falcons assistant coach here. The Falcons. So this is him right here. This is Mike Rutenberg. Hopefully I'm saying his name right, bro. I really hope I am. So the Browns are reportedly hiring defensive pass game coordinator for the Falcons, Rutenberg, to be their defensive coordinator. He has been coaching in the NFL for 16 years with stops in Atlanta, New York, San Francisco, Jacksonville, Washington, UCLA, and New Mexico State. Now, he's 44 years old. He was named the defensive pass game coordinator for the Falcons in 2025. So it looked like this gentleman definitely got some years under his belt with coaching in the NFL. I like that. You feel me? I think that's solid. I really do. I think that's solid that he got some years under his belt. 16 years. He done definitely been around the NFL for quite some time. Shout out to everybody who's just now joining us as we break this news to you guys right now, as we cover this story. So ESPN was the ones that kind of broke it to us that they will be hiring Mike. I'm going to just call him Mike, bro, because I don't want to slaughter his last name. You feel me? I don't want to mess up the gentleman's name. Let's see here. So ESPN just put this article out moments ago, breaking this story down even more. Somebody said, I guess they really feel anyone could be a coach at the defense. Hey, look, bro, it is what it is. Good afternoon to you, Antonio. It is what it is, man. They going to make sure they get the job done. I thought we was going to hear something about Friday. This past Friday about the Browns getting a new defensive coordinator. It don't look like we did. Look like they waited until today. So Jeremy Fowler broke the news, says sources hire Rutenberg. The Cleveland Browns are hiring Atlanta Falcons defensive passing game coordinator Mike Rutenberg to be their defensive coordinator, a lead source told ESPN Jeremy Fowler. Jeremy Fowler reported that he will be replacing Jim Schwartz, serve in a role that he had for these past 3 years. We ultimately know, if you guys just now joining us, we went over the whole situation with Jim Schwartz and how they got here. It says this will mark Rutenberg's first stint. So he's a first-time defensive coordinator. He just finished his first season in Atlanta after 4 seasons as a linebackers coach for the Jets. Now, those of you guys who is just now joining us, the Atlanta Falcons finished second in sacks last year out of all the damn NFL teams. So the Atlanta Falcons came in second out of all of the NFL teams in sacks, bro. This is a major blow to Kevin Stefanski, bro. I feel like it is. This is definitely some payback time. Says Monken said in his introductory news conference that he does not anticipate changing Cleveland defensive scheme. So it looked like they will be running the same type of scheme that they had under Jim Schwartz. Now, in another article that we read before this one, it was also detailing that will the players accept this hire? I don't know if they would. At the end of the day, they got to, man. Rutenberg, a Cornell graduate and Washington, D.C. native, got his start in the NFL as a player personnel intern for Washington in 2023. He then worked as an administrative assistant to head coach Joe Gibbs before working as a graduate assistant at UCLA from 2006 to 2028. Rutenberg then worked as a pass game coordinator and a defensive back coach at New Mexico State. 2013, Rutenberg returned to the NFL as an assistant defensive backs coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars from 2013 to 2015. He then served as a defense assistant for the next 2 years before being promoted to linebackers coach. So, yeah, man, it looked like they definitely got their guy, man. So shout out to the Cleveland Browns. Twitter is down right now. For those of you guys who might not know this, Twitter is down. So that's why we had to bring up the articles. But y'all know me, man. I want to make sure I bring you guys the news as soon as I can get to it, as soon as I can put it all together for a video for you guys. Be sure to like the video, hype the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I feel like they're going to make it their business to make sure Kevin Stefanski has a shitty year in Atlanta by any means necessary. This Baker Mayfield now will look like the Cleveland Browns is definitely making sure he has a shitty season. But I just find this to be the funniest thing ever. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I think this is so damn funny that they got somebody from Kevin Stefanski's staff to kind of say "F you" to Kevin Stefanski. It's just funny, bro. It's always good to get a little payback, man. But make sure you guys share the video and tell